What's good, guys? This is Carlos, the Colombian guy. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And today, guys, I would like to speak about a topic because I always got this question a lot. And I would like to speak about this topic today, fellas. And the question is, why so many Venezuelan girls become a working girls in Colombia? Also, fellas, the information that I'm gonna give it to you, the explanation that I'm gonna give it to you from what I know, is also can reveal to you, like to reveal to you, like the secrets. You guys can understand the game. Why Venezuelan girls, they become or became a working girls in a country like Colombia and in many countries around the world, fellas. Before I start talking about this topic, let me take a flight. Let me take a flight. Let me jump in a plane and fly back to the Venezuela that it used to be. I must say, 15 years ago, fellas, the Venezuela was very, very, very powerful. Venezuela, was very powerful with the oil. Like a lot of people, like when I live over there, there were like a lot of Colombians used to emigrate to Venezuela for work over there because they were like better than Colombia back in the days. So, like Venezuela was kind of, let's say, like the United States that was closer to Colombia back in the days. So, the Arabics, Chinese, Italian, people from Spain, people even from the States, they were living over there because, was a country, to make a lot of money, and people, they were living very comfortable over there, fellas. Back in the days, the president was Hugo Chavez. Who was Hugo Chavez, for the Venezuelans? So he was kind of like, a lovely people. He used to give them a lot of love to the Venezuela. Somebody that kind of, apparently, he cared about his people. And they give them a lot of benefits. The government back in the days gave them a lot of benefits, like toys in December, computers, the bill, the water bill was paid, the energy was paid, they gave them house with the AC, with the furniture, with the bed, all of that. So a lot of, Venezuelans that were kind of poor, they were like, getting a lot of benefits from the government, like Venezuelans, the ones that didn't have to work, that they don't want to work, back in the days, they didn't have to worry about that because, the food was paid, the bill, were paid, all of that because, like I said, the government that they used to have back in the days, it used to spoil them, like the little kids. So you guys need this, the money here, you guys need a computer, you guys need that, and people, they were making a lot of money in Venezuela, fellas. When I'm telling you, I remember, back in the days, when my friends, because a lot of my friends, their fathers, they used to be, they used to live in Venezuela. So mind you, also my grandma used to live in Venezuela too. So they were making a lot of money over there. And I remember my grandma, also my grandma built her house because of the Venezuela money. She built her house, and then she bought a land for my mother too. So, they were making a lot of money back in the days. Like I say, so my father's friend that were over there when they traveled back to Colombia, like in December, so they brought like a lot of toys, like a skateboard, all of that, computer, all of that. My friend was was like a group like 10 guys, but one of my friends that his parents were living in Venezuela, he was the first one that he got the computer. So you can imagine how good was Venezuela back in the days, fellas. But how we say Colombia's from this good, they don't give you a lot. The history, was about to end for all this Venezuela that they were getting spoiled, and this beautiful country, that people were living comfortable, making a lot of money over there. Venezuela used to be back in the days the people that brought money to Colombia. They were traveling over here, spending money like crazy. Let's say the Venezuelans back in the days, they were like the gringos, right? Like the gringos at the moment, right now in Colombia. So they were acting like the gringos right now in Colombia because we had to remember back in the days, Pablo was in the game, all of that, all these drug dealers. So, like gringos, they didn't want to travel to Colombia because, wasn't safe. So fellas, back in the days, they used to spend a lot of money, all of that, fellas. But, like how all the nice history have an end, the end was coming to Venezuela, fellas. When the president Hugo Chavez, he passed away. A lot of nightmares, were coming to Venezuela, fellas, because when he passed away, fellas, when he passed away, was like this guy, he said, in case, I think he was feeling that, he was like, in case if I pass away, I want this guy right here, to become the person, like, is gonna be in charge of my country, in charge of the Venezuelans, in charge of this. I'm talking like a politician now, in charge of everything. So if he, the person, like the people were seeing like the job that the Hugo Chavez was doing for the community, blessing them with money, house, all of that, a lot of benefits, all of that. So they were thinking also like Venezuela, like this guy, like the president, that he said, oh, he's gonna be like the one, that's gonna be in my chart. So they told, like, this guy was gonna be doing like the same thing like the Hugo Chavez was doing for Venezuela, but not, unfortunately, no. As soon as he got into the power, like, this guy is a dummy person, all of that. And so he was doing just the wrong thing, like the things that Venezuela were getting used to. He was like, no, like this, was Chavez, he was the one doing it, but that's not on us, that's not on me. It's just a new government, so you guys won't get the benefits that you guys were getting before. So that's the reason why, like, hey, like bills, like bills that the government used to pay, we're not getting paid anymore. The computers that they used to get, they stopped doing it, like the benefits, the money, all of that, the house, all of that, majority, not all the benefits, but majority, like they were thinking like, oh, that's not on the government, that's on you. So like they were like, no, now it's time for you to guys, open your eyes, we won't give you like a lot of benefits, all of that. No, you gotta work for that. You saw, because like, no, that's not on us. So fellas, so after that, like this guy, he was like, he told like, he got the power, all of that. Well, he still got the power because, he's been the president of Venezuela like for a few years now. So, and then like the biggest mistake that he did was like, he told like, cause Venezuela has a lot of oil, all of that. And the truth is, like, they never, from what I know, from what I've been reading, they never get along with the United States. So, like they were like, but Chavez, he used to work a little bit with the people with the States, but this guy, Maduro, he doesn't want to work with the people from the States, with the government from the States. So he told, like, he doesn't need, nothing from nobody, just because everything, like, he need, he's in Venezuela and he couldn't get it from there. So what happened is, like, like they create new laws, all of that, the laws that his guy, the last president was working that, they kind of disappear, and then like this guy is creating new laws, all of that. So they start having like a lot of politicians problem with the states and with a lot of countries that they get along with the state. You know what I mean? Because like we can't really deal with Venezuelans. With talking about governments, we can't really deal with them because like we get along with the states, and then we gotta get along with the real ones. Like Venezuela used to be a real one, but now it's fucked up. So they fuck it up. We gotta be with the real ones. It's not like we're trying to take advantage of that. We just trying to be smart because United States, I guess can, I guess I'm sure, can give us, more benefits than Venezuela right now. So fellas, this is kind of like, how everything is there because like I say, he got so many problems, so many politician problems, and the rich people, the rich Venezuela, like they still living the country. They still living, getting out from the country, all of that. Like, fuck it, we want to invest in a country like this. There is new law, stuff like that. So, the rich people are living. Who is gonna provide jobs? Who's gonna provide all of that? So, but he didn't care about that. He's only was caring like about, like he was acting like the fool, or I got the power and this is the only thing that that we care about, all of that, this and that. So like I said, people that were investing money were providing jobs. They were like, oh, fuck it, we're living now, so you fix your problem, however you want. So Okay, fellas, this is when the neighbors, start, happening, and then like Venezuela start protesting against the president, all of that, and the still is a war, that they couldn't. So far, they didn't win, they refused and they left their country, fellas, and this is the reason why so many working girls that they used to be a lawyer, they used to be a doctor, they used to be like a nurse, all of that. So they came back, they emigrate to a country, like Colombia, and they don't have much choice than become a working girls because they were living like a luxury lifestyle, back in their countries, and once they get into Colombia, they gotta, they notice, they realize like Colombians, we have to work hard, to get something. The government, don't give us, a lot of things. Well, in my case, the government don't really give to my family or either to me a lot of stuff. So, I gotta work myself for what I want. If I want a cab, I have to work for it. If I had money that I have, it's because I've been working for that. So when they get here, they will like, like, hey, this is not like Venezuela. We gotta work hard. All of this. And like I say, they used to be very spoiled, and with the people, they get very spoiled. It's like when you have a baby, when you have your son, like you spoil them, as much as you can. Then when they grow up, they don't think like, the life is about to work hard. The life is about, you gotta, who you body, carrying the stuff, working hard, working a lot of hours. So some of them, they haven't wake up, they haven't get up from that dream that Colombia is not like Venezuela, and they had to work hard for what they need to have it, for what they wanted. And some of them, they used to have a house, like business in Venezuela, but like they kind of say like the president, fucked up the entire country, and they didn't have more choice. They left because if they wouldn't do it, they would have died from hunger. Also, it's a lot of stuff like they don't produce over there, like like talking about groceries, stuff like that they used to get import from a lot of countries that United States get along with. They were like, okay, United States is telling us, don't sell your food, all of that. And like when like I say, a lot of countries, stop, sending them food. And the factories that they used to produce, the kind of grocery, the main groceries that people need to have it, that Venezuelans like it. They already left the country because they like, it's a lot of problems with this government, all of that. So we better leave, find another country, how rich people do, like find another country and they set their own business over there. They don't care about that. The only one that's gonna be affecting are the poor people and the Venezuelans that they don't have a lot of money, fellas. So this is the situation. Why so many working girls they had to do this job, why so many of them they had to work so many hours to send money to their family, back in Venezuela, all of that. So let me tell you this, guys. The situation in Venezuela was crazy. It was crazy. Like, I remember like it was one year that people were making only $1 a month. So it means if you work for a year, so you only gonna make $12. I just spent $12 in my breakfast. So that this is crazy because like how a beautiful country with a lot of beautiful women. So get fucked up because that's like I said, that's the question that I got. Like they so beautiful. What they doing is what. This is the reason why they countries fuck it up. They can do nothing. Well, they can do a different job, but like I say, like when the people get comfortable. I'm not saying they're lazy because at the end of the day, prostitution, being a working girl, this is not an easy job because you've been sleeping with a lot of different men, so it's a lot going on. So like I say, that's the reason why some of them like they had to do this because like they know like. Working here, living in Colombia is not easy. You gotta find your own thing. You gotta do you gotta do like you gotta try to find your own way how to get food. All of that because if you wait something from the government, you might pass away and you won't get what you've been waiting from the government, fellas. So another thing, like hey, because like I've been hearing like a lot of things like people been say, Colombians trade Venezuelans back, all of that. Like, please, like, don't, like, hey, it's a lot of history, behind, Colombia and Venezuela. And back in the days, we used to be just one country. So we love Venezuela as our brothers. But it's a lot of problems because, like, Venezuela, unfortunately, they've been creating the reputation in Colombia that, like, they are ungrateful. Some of them, they're lazy, they don't want to work, all of that. So kind of like Colombians, they've been tired of giving them opportunities. And I know, that's not true, because not all the Venezuelans, they are lazy, they are bad people, they did this and that. No, I know some ones, that they've been great. They've been great to me. I have a lot of friends that they're from Venezuela. They are amazing people. They've been good to me, they've been great to me. So it's not complaining about them. But like I said, it's a lot of problems, and they've been unaliving a lot of people. Like in my hood, they unalive somebody. Let me tell you this history about my hood. So was one guy, like, he played for the other team. He was kind of like, gay or something. So he played for the other team, and then he hosts this guy from Venezuela. I guess they were in a relationship or something, and then he hosts the guy for 2 months. So like coming to find out, like one day, his family was looking out for him. He was like, he got lost or something. Was like, since then we don't know about him. So like they got into his house, coming to find out, the Venezuelan guy has left and has unalived this guy that gave them the hand, helping, all of that, when he kind of wasn't nobody. Yes, it wasn't nobody, but at least the guy, gave him a hand, all of that. So like for situation like this, like Colombians are looking like some Venezuelans like ungrateful, this and that, and lately, like, it's been like more Venezuela involved to crimes in Colombia than Colombians. So this is the reason why they kind of like Colombian communities kind of like, rejecting in Venezuelans, and some of them get mad because they think, oh, you guys racist, you guys trade Colombian bad, you guys trade Venezuelans bad. Hey, no, it's not about trading bad, being racist. It's just about it's just a reaction for something that they've been seeing, something that like Venezuela's been doing in Colombia. It's the same thing, like with us, with Colombians, when we try to travel like to a state or something, like it's a lot of reactions for because for the things that some Colombians been doing over there, like drug business, and stuff like that. So it's not about races. It's mostly thing about that. It's mostly thing about like what they've been doing. They like people like even in Bogota, you go to the capital, and then you also has signs, apartment for rents, but they say no costeños, no Venezuelans. Costeños, who are the costeños? Costeños are, people like us, people like me, like we live in Cartagena, Barranquilla. This is like the Caribbean coast of Colombia. The reason why they say no costeños is because they had the reputation to be loud, play music like loud, late in the night. Like they had the reputation that they don't like to pay for the rent. The owner of the house, the owner of the apartment has to chase them for them to pay. All of that. Same thing with Venezuelans. They've been unaliving people. Like they've been unaliving people in the capital. All of that, robbing a lot of people. They put like everybody and their mama in one house, in one room, like 10 people in one apartment. From that only has one room. So they've been playing music loud, all of that. So it's a lot going on. Like even like I say, like when like some people of the community, said doing this thing, they will have a reaction. They will have a reaction, and this is the reaction. The thing, that Colombia is be perceiving from Venezuelans, and like I say, it's not like we wanna. Well, I'm not saying we, because I treat all my Venezuelans good, because they had they've been good with me. They had good arepas, all of that. They've been an amazing. I have family from Venezuela. I have a lot of cousins, like more than 20 cousins that they were born in Venezuela, but like their parents, they were Colombians. So it's not like we wanna trade. It's not like they wanna trade them bad. It's like the reaction for all of this. So please stop saying like Colombians trade Venezuelan bad, because like you have to find out the reasons, and after that you maybe can give your opinion about that, but hey, investigate yourself first, and then you can talk about that for us. So hey, that's all for today, guys. Man, I'm thirsty talking about all of that. That's all for today, guys. That's the information that I want to bring it to you guys, because I thought was something important. I had to clarify, I had to speak about that. And I'm glad that I did it because, like I said, a lot of people been asking me, this question all the time. So, I just want to clarify that, fella. So, hey, that was all for today, guys. I'm going to let you go. If any day, any time, any moment, any seconds, you guys coming to Cartagena, Colombia, don't forget to hit me up. I own a tour company. We offer tours like Volcano, Palenque, private Yachts, private villas, all of that. I got you, with the best information about my city. If you need somebody that show you around, take you to the clubs, take you to the restaurant, somebody that translate back and forth, I'm the man, I'm kidding, there is a lot of great and amazing tour guys, I don't want to say I'm the number one, none of that, because that's not true. Even if you guys don't book with me, you guys can book from someone from my community. I'd be happy with that, fella. So, hey, also, you guys can find me on IG like CTG Connections. That's the name of my company, guys. And I will drop all my PayPal information for you guys when I show me some love. Go ahead, but I'm not begging for money. I'm good. I make good, decent money in Colombia. But, if you guys want to do some donations, that's on your fellas. Fellas, this is all for today, guys. See you soon, guys. See you next time. This is Carlos, the Colombian guy. Boom.